Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen-Sheets, aka Carol the Coach. And I was thinking about what I wanted to talk with you tonight about. And I realized that a lot of the people that I'm working with that are in good recovery, be it a sex addict or a partner, has replaced some of their nervous energy and their compulsive behavior in things that on some level seem helpful, but on others seem kind of compulsive in and of themselves. You know, I've got a man right now who has enlarged his working space, and as a result, he's working probably 12 to 14 hours a day to get it underway. And I know to the average person, one would say, hey, that's what a business owner has to do to make their life go to the next level. But what I know to be true is this is a way for him to divert his sexual addiction tendencies and convert them into what he believes is healthy behavior. And wanting to take your life to the next level is healthy behavior. But doing it to the detriment of his family and his wife, not so much. You know, I remember in 2007 when I was just completing my CSAT certification with Patrick Carnes. He was talking to us and he said, I guarantee you everybody in this room has an addiction. Does anybody not think they have an addiction? And out of the probably 40 professionals that were getting our CSATs, I raised my hand. And I said, you know, Patrick, I am not aware of any addictions that I have. And he said, really? Well, tell me a little bit about your life. And I said, well, currently I'm married, first time ever, very happily married. We go on dates and we live a good life. I pretty much spend my weekends with him. And on Monday nights, I have just started a radio show, and so I get off work and go do the radio show. Tuesday night's a sister night, and I spend time with my sister. It's precious time for me. Wednesday nights may be open, or I may save it for another person, place, or thing. Thursday nights is girlfriend night, and I have been doing girlfriend night with the same friends since I was in the 7th grade. And so what I was really saying to him is that I have an active and full life. I said, you know, if there's one thing I don't do is I don't sleep. I exercise, I work on stained glass, I make jewelry, I love all my animals, I hang out with friends, I go out with my husband, I go to church, and I'm just sharing my life. And he said, Carol, tell me about your work. And I said, well, Patrick, I am the top producer at a hospital. I see the most clients, and I probably work the hardest. I make the most money at that hospital, and I feel very, very fulfilled. And he said, oh, how many hours do you work? And I said, well, I work about 40, and I see 41 clients. And he looked at me and he went, you see 41 clients? And I said, well, not really, Patrick. I see more than that because I have a private practice. And I see 41 clients in 40 hours, but that's only 4 days. And on my day off, I see additional clients, sometimes 10, sometimes 15. And he did the what I call the Grinch. I think he kind of looks like the Grinch. And he shook his head and he said, so your addiction is workaholism. I said, oh, not really. I love my work. And it satisfies me and it doesn't exhaust me. And he said, Carol, I've got to tell you 3 things. And when Patrick Carnes talks, you listen. And he said, first of all, your brain needs to rest. And if you're seeing that many clients, you're not allowing it to rest. It's not good for your brain to work that hard. What could I say? I had a feeling he was right. And he said, second of all, if you're seeing that many clients and you're working that hard, I guarantee you, your relationships are suffering. And I said, oh no, Patrick, I am like this true blue, faithful friend. I never miss. My sister loves me. My husband adores me. And he said, Carol, I'm saying that you are not nearly as connected to the people that you love as you would be if you didn't work so hard. Again, I had to listen. And last but not least, he said to me, and you know, it sounds like you've got a thriving practice. And I said, oh, yes, I do. You know, I had a radio show and I wrote a column in a paper and people know me and they do a nice job of working with me. And he said, well, Carol, let me just tell you the third thing. You're not as good of a therapist as you think you could be, as you think you are, as you think you want to be. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, remember, that brain needs to rest. So you're probably not going to remember to the degree that you need to the things in your practice. And he says, you know, you're probably not relating really well as you could, because you're moving 1,000 miles an hour. Well, I thought a lot about that. I actually looked at my class and I said, oh my gosh, I just spent a half hour in Patrick Carnes' office, even though it wasn't, it was a classroom. So I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to say, what is the other addictions you may have in addition to your sexual addiction or partner betrayal? And what coping skills might you be utilizing that are getting in the way of rest and relaxation, calming down the brain, your relationships with others, and your ability to do a good job at anything you do? I'm going to give you the same advice that Patrick gave me. Rest your brain, spend more time on your relationships, and slow it down so that you can really be present for your clients. Okay, you may not have clients, but you got customers. And if you don't have customers, you got kids. And if you don't have kids, you might have students. And if you don't have students, you've got employees. And if you don't have employees, you have coworkers. You get the drift. So that's my teachable moment for you tonight. Take a look at yourself and then ask yourself, how might I slow down my life to be more present, to be healthier, and to really invest in the important things in life? Well, I'm Carol Jurgensen-Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and I want to thank you for your time.